Hi, welcome to the first edition of Aggressive Health Weekly. For the next few weeks, we're going to talk about unwanted body fat. And basically what we're going to do, we're going to treat it like the enemy. Unwanted body fat is going to be the enemy, and we're going to surround it from every single vantage point and give you a number of strategies so that we can unleash this assault onto unwanted body fat, so that effectively there's literally no chance you can have any on your body. Now here's the thing, fat is essential. It's essential for protecting your organs, for protecting your brain, for brain health, and for a number of other things. But unwanted body fat not only is a store ground for toxicity and excess calories, but it's also a very powerful player in inflammation. And inflammation is tied to heart disease, cancer, diabetes, Alzheimer's, and all the major diseases of modern civilization. So first of all, I'm going to tell you a story. I had a customer of mine, she phoned up, or in fact her husband phoned up, and he said, look Mike, he said, my wife is she's in a proper pickle. She's been depressed for 27 years, and she's in a situation where the antidepressant drugs aren't working. And the doctor has given her these suggestions. He's saying, look, we can either up the dosage, or we can put you on another medication which is stronger, as if that's any great choice. And he says, I don't want to go down either of those avenues, what do I suggest? And I said, well look, I'm not a doctor, so I'm not in a position really to make any suggestions, but I can tell you what I would do if I was in that situation. So I'm kind of rummaging through my brain, thinking of all the different principles in the book. I'm thinking, what's going to be the best thing to bring her brain back into balance, her brain chemistry back into balance, her brain and her body back into balance. And I came up with two things. The first thing was E3 Live. Okay, E3 Live is, well, first of all, it's a blue-green algae from Klamath Lake. Okay, it's 98% absorbable by the body. Okay, it's 60% protein. It's rich in trace elements. Okay, very rich in amino acids. And amino acids basically the building blocks of the neurotransmitters, the chemical messengers in your brain. So by bringing in those building blocks, it can foster, more balanced, harmonious brain chemistry. The second thing I was thinking of was the AlphaStim. Now the AlphaStim you'll see on the site aggressivehealthshop.co.uk. Basically you clip it onto your earlobes, and it's an FDA approved device, and what it does, it sends a particular square wave electrical signal between these two points and stimulates the central nervous system. It brings brain chemistry back into harmony. Okay, for 9 out of 10 people who suffer with anxiety, it smooths off brainwave activity. And by fostering that balanced, harmonious brain state, along with taking on board E3 Live, I thought to myself, well, that could be a better way forward than heading towards drugs, which are designed to mess with brain chemistry, but have got tons and tons and tons of side effects. So I said, look, that's what I would do in your situation, but I said, obviously I can't make that recommendation because I'm not a doctor. However, lo and behold, an order came through, AlphaStim E3 Live. Anyway, I was contacted a few weeks later, and his wife literally said to me, she said, Mike, I'm so indebted to you and your company for your, for the products that you sell. After 27 years of being depressed and being on antidepressant medication, I've come off them for the first time, and I feel great. I'm back to work. She says, I want to write an ebook, and all the proceeds from that ebook I want to go directly to your company. From two principles. Obviously I said to her, look, you should take all the money from the ebook if you're going to put that time and effort in. However, the point is clear, that by getting things right from an emotional standpoint, she was then less likely to head towards the foods that create the artificial high, and artificial brain chemistry. Okay, so that's the point really from this session, is if you want to lose weight, okay, this might seem like a funny angle to come from, but if you're emotionally strong and an emotional dynamo, then you stand a lot better chance of moving towards the foods that are going to make you feel even better and make you feel good than you are moving towards the other foods which create that artificial high in your brain, the high sugar, the high cooked fats, the high trans fatty acid foods. Take that information on board, go back to Aggressive Health, read through that from the standpoint of what can I do to become an emotional dynamo, turn to the chapter on neurotransmitters, turn to the chapter on brain chemistry, and I guarantee if you haven't read those chapters, it's because they're at the end of the book and you never got that far. So reread those chapters today, and I'll see you next week.